What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Neon Trash. You got Hammer, you got BC, you got Rocket. Oh, yeah. Tonight, we're going to be checking out the movie Faces of Death, Part Trace. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched one, we watched two. We're going back for thirds, folks.
Yeah, that's right. We are gluttons for punishment, and I'm a huge fan of the original Faces of Death. I think it's a very vitally important exploitation and mondo film, but I definitely have a different perspective here with the third movie. We're going to be touching on that a little bit more later on in the review. You guys know this routine. Check out that motherfucking trailer. Peep that shit. Yeah, when we get back, you're going to know Tommy and BC's and Johnny's opinion on Faces of Death 3.
The most terrible thing that I have ever witnessed was one evening I come out on the patio and I see this man coming down in a parachute, and he landed right in the crop pit. And he just made one big scream, and the most horrible looking face you ever seen on a human being, that was him. And before I could get any help, any way to get him out of there, they had tore him to shreds.
Grab his leg! Oh, shit, look what they done to him!
There was nothing I could do.
There was nothing anybody could do. Adams had landed on a target, which this time would cost him his life.
We just got done watching Faces of Death 3, the third one. Which, you know, my first question is, do we really need more than like one of these? No. No, we didn't. We certainly didn't need three. Because, I mean, I know it's hard to believe that like future, you know, like sequels of this like went even lower, because this was already so fucking low. Like this was like 89% like faked garbage. Like, it was just, you know, just one scene to the next is so disjointed, and it was like, I mean, eventually they gave you the, oh, we're killing some chickens again. And you're like, at that point, you're already fucking over it. Like, it's just like, whatever. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's, you know, 21st century and we're now desensitized to this kind of stuff. It's like, you can dial up some, like, shit, some people getting killed, some accident videos or whatever at the drop of a hat nowadays. So I guess maybe if we try to, you know, put that in frame of reference to the mid-'80s, and you couldn't just, Google this kind of stuff up, or like this, you know, there was no internet to look things up, and like, so if you were like really morbidly curious about this kind of stuff, this is the kind of crap that you had to look for, you know. So okay, I get it. I can see why. I mean, there was obviously some kind of market for it. They wouldn't be making this stuff, you know. There was still that, you know, segment of society that was like, oh man, death and gore and grossness, the real thing, not like a fake, you know, Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, like it's real death and stuff. So yeah, you kind of get a, you know, a couple of scenes of actual, like, you know, car accidents, and like, it's like, okay, you know, it's gross and gruesome and everything, but then we just go into all these, like, you know, we're probably, you know, based on true stories, but it turns into more like a, you know, a really shitty version of a current affair, where just, you know, reenactors reenacting what happened the night of September 14th at the Mangled household, and so-and-so stabbed or whatever. It's just like, all right, and it just gets real fast. I mean, the footage is grainy and shitty. The narration is monotone. Like, I mean, this is like just 99% dreck. Like, it really is. Like, oh my goodness. Like, you know, I will gladly fall on the sword so you folks at home don't have to, because this was absolute shite. And if I'm going to go straight into a star count, it gets one fucking star. This is garbage.
Okay, alright.
Even if you hate it, despise it, think it's a despicable creation of art, you could be like, it is a fascinating relic. It came at a time where it amused people, it interested people, it intrigued people, and it was also like an exercise in marketing, and film has always done that, and horror films have always pushed the boundaries.
That's fair.
So when you look at the first one, it's like, okay, you could hate it, but it is what it is. But what you see with this one, and we both complained about it, or all of us have, it's just like, it's, at this point, you might as well full send the direction of just making a film. Try and make a film that's pushing some kind of boundary, that's still exploring death in the way that you were doing it before. You know what I mean? You could have done that. This tries to straddle like both lines, but it's like you have these tongue-in-cheek moments, you have moments where it's completely obvious that it's you know, being reenacted. You have the narrator taking it really seriously at one point, but then right after drinking tequila, and then other times saying like, no one can judge anyone except our God and Creator. I'm like, who the fuck are you, dude? Like, you just keep flipping and flopping how we should feel and how you feel. And so like, to wrap this shallow dive up, I'm going to compare this film to another franchise of films that deal with death, and that would be the guinea pig films from Japan. The first one is abhorrent. It's terrible. It's not entertaining. It's not even that disturbing. It's actually just boring. But again, it's doing a similar thing of like pushing the boundaries of like torture, death, the things that you see. The second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way up to the sixth, the last one, they actually went in the directions of being different kinds of movies. The second one was just like a complete tongue-in-cheek special effects showcase. The third one was a horror comedy where it's literally like guinea pig, he never dies or something. And so like he just keeps bizarre things happening. 4, you have Devil Woman Doctor, and she's like doing these mad experiments. 5, you have the Android of Notre Dame, which is cyberpunk. And then 6, you have Mermaid in the Manhole. And it's like the best one. And it's like, wow, you actually went through 6 films and you did get the best one.
That sounds like a porno.
And it's actually just like a straight up body horror.
It does.
It's just like a straight up body horror.
Yeah.
And it's disturbing, but it's good. And so it's like this franchise had the opportunity to kind of do things like that, and it didn't. And so when you see this, I do have to be there with John, where it's like, I won't go quite as low as 1 because I've seen like, don't get me wrong, this is terrible, but like, I've seen even worse. But I am going to go with a 2.
Okay.
So how much better? For 2 out of 10, I'm right there.
I'm not into seeing animals die. I don't think anyone here really is into seeing that. But I will say that when it was taboo and struck a chord with audiences, and they were kind of experimenting with, let's push some boundaries with what cinema is, what it means to the filmmakers and audiences, I thought it was interesting, and I think it's an important film. So I absolutely love the first Faces of Death. Second one, just some leftover scenes that the first movie didn't use. Not offensive, but it gets the job done. This here, however, you have to keep in mind, this is the mid-1980s. Nothing like that was going on. In 1986, we were balls deep in slasher central. We were watching, Freddy killing people. We were watching Jason kill people. We were watching Michael Myers kill people. There was satanic devil dolls and tons of special effects, and that's where audiences were. We also had the MPAA breathing down our necks, or at least the filmmakers' necks. It was a different era. So I feel like Faces of Death thrived during that late 70s boom, and if you think about Faces of Death, then you got to think about Mondo, which was even earlier. I almost want to say that was in the late 60s, which is, whoa, like holy shit, really? You know what I'm saying? Where they were really pushing the envelope. That being said, despite I'm not a fan of this sequel in the series.
The envelope had long been pushed at this point.
Yeah, lick the envelope, hit a stamp on it, and send that shit to the old shit show. Because that's what this is. This is a shit show. I get why they made it, and I understand that during the era,
Cha-ching!
Yeah, there was an audience for it. I was that audience. I was reading Fangora magazine. I was watching slasher movies. I was really into things like H.R. Geiger, and I was a young kid, and I was like, oh my god, I want to see as much weird, shit as possible, and that's what this is here. Like, they were trying to make that old Faces of Death movie during an era where it was kind of either passé or just not being allowed to be made. So with all that being said, no deep dive here. I'm gonna go 3 stars.
Fair.
1, 2, 3.
3.
Yeah, there's a brand new Faces of Death movie about to drop into theaters coming down the pike, and you know, we all have differing opinions on, you know, if we're excited to see it, but yeah, I thought this was relevant. I thought now is the time to talk about Faces of Death again, because there's going to be a whole new generation hearing that name, maybe exploring the old films, and then going to the theater and watching whatever the fuck it is that they're going to crank out.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they watch this and maybe can get a little perspective on just, you know, how mysterious and taboo they were. I don't know, I think the new generations are so desensitized to it, like I said, because this kind of stuff is now all over the internet from all around the world. There's all kinds of videos, you know, from, you know, anything from, you know, ISIS beheading people to 3 guys and 1 hammer type of stuff. Like, yeah, there's
Horrible
real,
video.
there's real kind of stuff. So, like, you know, it's so easily accessible now, but back in the day, it wasn't.
Right. So, anyways, guys, I hope it's been informative. Until the next time, tune in to Neon, motherfucking trash.
Motherfucking trash.
Good night, folks. Cheers.